For the first time in the Pune Porsche case, the juvenile accused will be facing legal heat after he killed two innocents with his luxury car. The Juvenile Justice Board has cancelled bail order of 17-year-old and ordered that the minor should be sent to observation home until June 5th. However, the counsel of the accused said that this was not cancellation of bail but a modification of the bail order by the JJB. However, there has been no order by the Juvenile Justice Board on the accused being tried as an adult. The police argued in favor of the remand of the 17-year-old in front of the board on the grounds that he is not safe outside as people will possibly attack him and people are safe if he is inside. The defense counsel said that the teen suffered from depression. That's why he got into the habit of drinking. The accused before the board mentioned that he wants to stay with his mother and would feel safe at home. The counsel of the accused also added that accused could further slip into depression if he is kept inside the remand home.
We had filed in a review application before the Juvenile Justice Board to allow the juvenile to be tried as an accused and also to send him in the remand home. The operative order was communicated to us by the Juvenile Justice Board, and the said juvenile accused has been sent to the remand home for a period of 14 days till the 5th of June. The orders in respect of him being tried as an adult is awaited at the moment, in due course.
We're now joined by Prashant Patil, who is in fact one of the lawyers of the accused in this juvenile Porsche crash case. Prashant Patil, let me begin by asking you, this is a huge setback because the bail that was granted by the JJB has now been modified and the accused is now being sent to a juvenile observation home.
See, it's a matter of interpretation. What do we call as a quote-unquote setback? According to us, the 19th May 2024 order has been modified, wherein the child in conflict in law, the CCL, was allowed to go back to his residence, has now been directed to stay at a rehabilitation home. The particular application that was moved by the investigating agencies, that was the purpose was this particular child in conflict with law, if he stays outside, there was a threat to his security. So for his own safety, he was directed to stay at a particular detention home.
No, but Mr. Patil, this is fine. I mean, you're a lawyer for the accused. That is fine, you saying this. But at the end of the day, the kind of bail conditions that have been given for someone, even though a juvenile who has killed two young individuals, snuffed out their lives due to highly irresponsible acts like underage drinking, underage driving, and the Juvenile Justice Board says write a 300-word essay. I mean, there has to be some concept of proportionality. It shocked the entire nation.
Sir, can I speak now? So that particular order today has been set aside. I am not the spokesperson for that particular order. All that I can tell you what happened today before the Honorable Juvenile Justice Board, because I'm still at the court right now as we speak, was that particular order of 19th May 2024 was modified, and there are certain directions given for this particular child in conflict with law to stay at a rehabilitation home. We have not yet received the entire order. Only the operative part of the order was announced today. What are the parameters laid down by the Honorable Court, we'll only come to know by tomorrow.
A Pune court has extended the remand of the minor's father till 24th of May. Cops claim that the accused's father was not cooperating with the police in the investigation. Hence, for further questioning, the Pune police sought his remand. When police gave him notice to join the investigation before his arrest, he misled them by stating that he was in Shirdi, but his location was Aurangabad.
आगे इस केस में न्याय मिलेगा, ये इस चीज़ की प्रोबेबिलिटी जो है ये बढ़ती हुई नज़र आ रही है। ये इन 5 दिनों में मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है वो हो और सही दिशा में हम केस को लेके जाए और कानून व्यवस्था सुचारू रूप से चले। लड़के के पिता हैं, उन्होंने इस केस को अपने पॉलिटिकल सपोर्ट या जो भी अपने पैसे के बलबूते पे दबाने की कोशिश की, तो वो चीज़ ये जो इतने समय बाद ये चीज़ें हो रही है, ये चीज़ पहले हो जाती तो लोगों का भरोसा और इतना आक्रोश नहीं होता।
Well, there is no end to politics over the incident. Rahul Gandhi has targeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He said there was a bias in the current government as a spoiled brat was given essay punishment, whereas other bus and truck drivers who kill someone are given 10 years jail term. The BJP has rubbished all the charges of opposition and said that all these attempts were made to ensure stringent punishment for the accused.
पुणे में जो घटना हुई, कल आपने सीनियर अधिकारियों के साथ मीटिंग की है, इस पर आपका क्या कहना है? आगे क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
देखिए, इसके ऊपर मैं विस्तृत प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर चुका हूं और कोई अलग बात होगी तो आपको अलग से बताऊंगा।
जो न्याय मांग रहे हैं उनके लिए कोई आप एक संदेश देना चाहेंगे? सिर्फ संदेश मांग रहे हैं?
मैं इसके ऊपर बहुत सविस्तर बोला हूं, विस्तार के साथ मैंने बोला हुआ है। कुछ नई चीज रहेगी तो जरूर बोलूंगा।
उबर ड्राइवर, ट्रक ड्राइवर, बस ड्राइवर गलती से अगर एक्सीडेंट कर देते हैं, किसी को मार देते हैं, एकदम उनको पकड़ के 10 साल की जेल हो जाती है, चाबी फेंक देते हैं। पुणे में 17 साल का बच्चा शराब पी के पोर्श गाड़ी चलाता है, 2 लोगों को मार देता है और उससे कहा जाता है कि आप ऐसे लिखिए, ऐसे लिखिए। अच्छा भाई, अगर वो ऐसे लिखेगा तो ट्रक ड्राइवर से भी ऐसे लिखाओ, बस ड्राइवर से भी ऐसे लिखाओ, टेम्पो ड्राइवर से भी ऐसे लिखाओ।
Let there be complete investigation, a thorough investigation, high-level investigation. Whoever may be the accused persons, whatever may be the political parties they belong to, truth must come out. Crime must be brought to the public before the courts, and law must take its course.
Well, we are now joined by Shilpa Sharma, who's a sister of another victim of a 2016 Delhi hit and run case. Thank you very much, Shilpa, for joining us. You fought relentlessly. You fought a battle for justice for your brother who was killed by a reckless VVIP brat. But this Pune Porsche case, is this a reminder of how no lessons have been learned? What's your message to the system?
See, my message to the system is very clear that they have to first of all correct the laws. There is a major flaw in the Section 15 of the Juvenile Justice Board, which is the heinous crime, where they have made one mistake of not using the word minimum, is why anybody who goes through this cannot be tried as an adult. Now, I have gone through the whole, charade of court cases for past 8 years, and I went to Supreme Court to address the issue that there is a flaw in the system, is why nobody can be tried as an adult. And, I don't want this current family to go through this, is why I was fighting. I actually feel like I failed very miserably because this has happened again. And this is what I've been fighting for. And the Supreme Court ordered the parliament and the lawmakers to make the correction in the Juvenile Justice Board Section 15, which is for the heinous crime, which was made after the Nirbhaya, to be tried, for the adults to be tried as an adult. But that correction has not been done. And now this boy, even after so much of rage, cannot be tried as an adult. I am saying it now because the law has not been corrected. See, there are 2 laws, as I always say. One is the law that we believe in and the justice that we believe in, and there is another law which is there in the court. The court follows the book, and the book has the flawed law. That needs to be corrected. We can scream all our lungs out, but nobody is hearing it. In the court, you get disappointed. I have gone through that disappointment throughout now. It's been 8 years, standing in court and listening to especially the perpetrators' lawyers. You will feel anger when you're there in the courts because the words that they use, the language that they use, oh, they are just jaywalking. Oh, how did the other person needs to know that who's crossing or how fast was he going and whatnot, how to take a decision. My only question is, why was he driving in the first place? So Juvenile Justice Board and the laws in the country have to come up and say that a juvenile driving is a crime, period. There is nothing, he doesn't have a license or she doesn't have a license. They cannot drive. There is a reason why the system exists of taking a lesson and then driving. Right now, they just have, you have to go through the whole chain of command, and all the sections are going to be applied. And there is such a charade. And it's of no use for the simple reason, because when the law does not exist, how are they going to try them as an adult? Because there is a flaw in the law. If you know what I mean. It's very shameful, and nobody says sorry. I did not get even an apology because there's a flaw in the law. When the law is wrong, who do you say and who do you blame?
Right. You're saying the law needs to be changed. There needs to be a reform. And in this particular case, there was a national outrage, after which we saw that the bail was cancelled. But do you think after that lenient order that came in from the Juvenile Justice Board that things have changed, that this is an afterthought due to public pressure?
This is actually kind of an eyewash. I want to ask the system the question that every time something like this happens, does people or the commissioner or the CM of the state or a country has to step in and take action or say something is only when the action will be taken? Why don't we have a correct system in place where everybody gets a justice? Now, why people have to, get angry and there is a mob and there is so much of frustration is when somebody will do something. Right now, they have started, the bail has been cancelled and now the boy is in jail. The pubs which were serving the alcohol are being demolished. The car who gave, the car company who gave the showroom, they are also now, being apprehended. I mean, the system is at flaw from start till the end. Now, why somebody, I'm sorry, has to die for the system to work their way out? I mean, why can't they do their jobs correctly? And why there is no system in place? If somebody dies, it's period. You have to not give them a bail and, remand the kid. But no, it doesn't happen like that. You're rich, you will pay some money, you will use your contacts and you're out. Now, for every case, there can't be outreach. There can't be CM getting involved. There can't be commissioner getting involved. In this case, like the commissioner and the CM and deputy CM are getting involved is why the action is taken. In my case also, it was almost like done and dusted, like a normal accident case, and it was all whitewash. I had to go to the commissioner of Delhi, and then he took a call is when, in my case, first time the father got arrested. So why somebody has to die for the system to work? It's a flawed system in place. You have to correct it. There are no guidelines. Everybody is like a, headless chicken running around here and there. And they don't know anything. When something like this happens, oh, this is wrong. Oh, didn't the excise people know that there is an illegal bar operating, or the Pune Commission knew what is happening there? Everybody knows everything. But only when somebody dies, they want to take an action. Why? Why nobody is doing their job? Why people have to die? Why common man's life is not important? And then obviously the rich, they can buy the system is why it is happening in the first place. And it did happen in this case. It did happen in my case too. It was almost done. It was finished that night. We had to literally, the time of grieving is spent to get justice. That is the worst part in the system. When my brother died, I couldn't even cry for him. I was fighting to get justice. I went the next day. There was no arrest. When we went to the police station, the police said that, we could not arrest anybody because it was after 10 o'clock. There's somebody died, and this is what you get from a police station, the people that you trust, and to uphold the law and order of this country. How do you think a common man believes in a system if there is no system in place for them? So it's very disappointing that every time somebody dies, the system is alert, and it's all eyewash, actually, I call it. It's all eyewash that they are doing right now. And it's very, very disheartening.
You're saying, why are we waiting for a crime to happen before we make changes? And why does somebody need to die for heads to roll? You fought a long battle. What is your advice to the families of Ashwini and Anish?
I would first of all tell them to not politicize or listen to anybody. Get a good lawyer. See, because it's a battle that you have to fight on your own, and don't make it any other matter. just make it a justice matter and get a good lawyer to fight the system and who knows the system. It cannot be, you cannot see everybody. I'm sorry, I'm sure everybody wants to support them right now, but then everybody has their life to go on. But you have to fight that. For that, you need a good lawyer who can fight with you and to stay with you. I am actually pretty lucky that I've got really great lawyer, Mr. Sri Singh, and then for my Supreme Court, Mr. Siddharth Luthra was there, and I'm really, really grateful for them to, stand by me and, help me in this fight. But what you really need is a very, very good lawyer to stand by you and stay with you and guide you properly and, channel the whole system correctly. Because there is a lot of waiting and there is a lot of grief, and to not get affected what the opponent's lawyer says in the court, because it's pretty hurtful what they say, and they behave like, nothing has happened and we are just making a big deal out of something. It happens every day. The worst part is when they call it an accident. It's not an accident. It's a juvenile who was driving a car without license, who's not supposed to do it. I call it as a murder. It's not an accident. I'm sorry. Accident is what happens accidentally. This is not an accident. When you drive a car without a license, there is going to be a mishap and you will kill somebody. And that's what has happened.
Shilpa, is very important. You're saying that the intention needs to be kept in mind and that a juvenile driving a car is a crime, and that should be the end of the story. Thank you very much, Shilpa, for joining us on the broadcast. We'll have a quick break.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.